Hey folks, just a couple of nights ago, my son, had his friend over for a sleepover, and they asked me could they watch Jaws on Blu-ray here on the big screen we have in the attic. Of course, I let them watch it. It's my favourite movie of all times. This monster hit from 1975. It is a classic. It is perfection in my opinion, and I don't think Spielberg has bettered it. Now that's just my opinion. You probably have your own favourite Steven Spielberg movies, and he probably has done a lot better technical films, but I don't think he has. I think this is Spielberg's finest hour in my opinion. Yes, he won the Oscar for Schindler's List. A great movie, fantastic movie, but this is my favourite and I'm sticking to it. But regarding the sequel to Jaws, Jaws 2, directed by Jeannot Szwarc, who had a big career in TV before he started making movies on the big screen, and went on later to direct notable films of Santa Claus the movie, Supergirl, which bombed. It's not a great movie. I do have a soft spot for that movie because I think Helen Slater is fantastic in that role. And he also directed Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour in a very, very good time travel movie, Somewhere in Time. If you ever have a chance to check that out, that is a fantastic movie. So yeah, Jeannot Szwarc was brought in with the really impossible task, I suppose, of making a sequel to Jaws. It really was. And for me, the Jaws sequels are always maligned, and people talk about how crap they are. But a couple of nights after watching Jaws, my young fella asked me, could we watch Jaws 2? And we popped it in and watched it. And to my surprise, I actually really enjoyed Jaws 2. I do not think this movie is a bad movie at all. Yes, the shark is seen really way too much in this movie compared to the suspense that Spielberg gave us in Jaws in 1975. Partly due to the shark not working, I suppose. In Jaws, the production was plagued by the shark not working. And in the sequel, we see a lot more of the shark, which I think is a bad thing, really. There's no real suspense in Jaws 2. But I do think the characters, the young characters, the teenage characters in Jaws 2 are very well written indeed. And they're very likeable characters as well, I think. One or two may be over the top in the acting department there, but I really do like the story of Jaws 2, and we have returning characters. Of course, we have Chief Brody returning in Jaws 2, we have Ellen Brody, and we have Hendrix, Brody's deputy, who's a very, very likeable character as well. And we have Murray Hamilton, the fantastic Murray Hamilton as Mayor Vaughn in this. And we also have a kind of another character who's totally has an eye for Brody's wife in this. Len Peterson is the name of the character here, and he's a very devious character indeed, and a not very likable character. And I think that adds to it. I think the script is not bad at all. It's written by Carl Gottlieb, credited, and Howard Sackler, I think, credited for the screenplay here. Carl Gottlieb also wrote the screenplay for Jaws. As I said, the shark is shown a lot in it, but we do have some nice set pieces in this, and notably the water skiing scene in it. And there's some silly scenes, regarding that scene as well, with the boat, the girl driving the boat, dousing herself with petrol and setting herself alight, trying to shoot the shark. But all silliness aside, it's a good scene, and there's some good scenes with the kids in it on the boat. They set out on a boating trip. It's fairly, it's probably, you go through the movie and you think, yes, you're joining the dots here but it is a very, very entertaining movie. My son found it entertaining, although he did mention that the shark is seen really a lot in this movie, and the camera is pointed on top, is placed on top of the shark fin really here, so you can see the point of view. I think the director was going from the point of view of the shark, which I don't think worked for me here. But I do think that as I said, the script is good in it. There's some good set pieces in it, and I think the story isn't bad at all. As sequels go, it did make a lot of money. I think it was the biggest sequel at the time until Rocky 2 arrived on the scene. But if you haven't seen Jaws 2, I do think it's worth checking out. It is not as bad as people, as you probably remember it being. and it's far better than Jaws 3. And I have Jaws 3 in my collection because I have a 3D set up here, and the 3D in Jaws 3 is quite good, and it's a bit of a novelty watching that. It's a terrible movie, but the 3D is good in it. And I don't have Jaws the Revenge in my collection. I refuse to have it there because it's an abomination in my opinion. But I really would suggest that you go back and check out Jaws 2. It's not as bad as you think, and it's not as bad as you remember. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. You might be surprised and be entertained, if anything, with Jaws 2. So that's my quick thoughts on Jaws 2. Please subscribe to the channel, McCord Movies. I really would appreciate it. I'm trying to grow the channel. And slap a like on the video if you can. And as I said, subscribe. So until the next video, take care and we'll talk soon. Thanks.